You guys are quick to tell me in the comment section that I am not a general manager, and you would be correct. I am a fan. I am an analyst. I am a fanalist. Trademark me. Don't steal that. But I enjoy what I do. I enjoy being a fan. I enjoy being on the outside looking in because I don't know if I can handle what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell do. They both look like they have aged about 50 years since they've taken over the job for the Detroit Lions, and I'm okay with being exactly where I am. And contrary to what a lot of you guys believe, I would much rather look like Boo-Boo the Fool and be wrong than have our team not make the Super Bowl and be right. I don't care if y'all make fun of me, if y'all talk about me, if y'all make memes about me. I don't care about that. If the Detroit Lions get a Super Bowl, that's all I care about. If I have to be, if I have to die a hero or live long enough to see myself become a villain, that's fine. As long as we have a Super Bowl. That's all I care about. Winning is all I care about. I'm going to say that again. Winning is all I care about. But there are things that as a fan, as an analyst, that you see. And do I think that I'm smarter than Brad Holmes? I don't know how smart Brad Holmes is, but I know that he's great on the football when it comes to football stuff. I know he lacks in other things too. You know what I'm saying? I know that not every decision he makes is great. I know that Dan Campbell is the coach that I truly believe will help us win a Super Bowl. But I also know he gambles a lot on the field, that is. He gambles a lot. There are some decisions that you and I both know you've had to convince yourself that you're okay with. And there are some that you're not okay with. It's okay not to be in total agreement with anything, every move that the Detroit Lions make. But with that being said, Dan Campbell, and I was going to make a video about something else, and I decided to make a video about this. It popped in my Twitter feed, and I was like, you know what? I want to talk about this more than the other thing. And that is our general manager sat down with Steve Weich, I believe that is his name. He is with ESPN, NFL Network, one of those. And he sat down with Coach Campbell. Now, we're going to take a look at this here, and this is credit his Twitter account. Now, the first thing I want you to notice is look at Coach. Doesn't it look like he's had a skin treatment, or just how good has vacation been to Coach? Because before we ended the season, dude looked like he was 75 years old. You could see the toll that this job takes on Dan Campbell. And if you go back to his initial press conference, he looks light years older because of the stress level. So like I said, I don't envy these guys. I don't want anything to do with it. I love doing exactly what I do, watching as a fan. I love that. I don't get paid the millions of bucks, but I don't need it. I love exactly where I'm at. But shout out to Dan Campbell. Here's what he had to say. And here's the reason I brought up the criticism of Brad Holmes is because of the grit warriors is what I like to call them. Eventually, I feel like you're going to have to get talent on your team. And that talent may come with a bit of character concerns. You get to a point where what's more important, talent or character? Okay? I do believe that character is more important, but you can't have no talent or little talent, right? And I talked about this in a previous video. Jalen Carter was a talent that a lot of you in the comment section wanted on this team at all cost. And when he was not taken, when the Detroit Lions traded from 6 to 12 in last year's draft and did not take him, and when he went off the board to the Philadelphia Eagles, y'all came at Brad Holmes, right? His talent for you outweighed his character. I knew, and I didn't want Jalen Carter. Okay, I'm not talking about that type of character. I'm talking about where it's this unspoken thing. You have to have grit. Well, that's spoken, but there's some underlying things. The Detroit Lions, and Dan Campbell, frankly, just came out and said it. He said, no amount of talent is going to get you on the Detroit Lions. No amount of talent will make you a Detroit Lion, which tells me that they're looking for character and grit more than they are talent. And my thing was, is talent going to be enough to win a Super Bowl? Is talent going to be enough to win us a Super Bowl? I'm sorry, is grit Is all that stuff going to be enough for us to win a Super Bowl? Now, I want you to understand something here. Not win the NFC North, not win the NFC title game. To make and win a Super Bowl. So no other milestone counts when I'm talking about grit. So don't put in the comment section, we did this in 3 years. We did that in 3 years. I'm simply saying Super Bowl, nothing more, nothing less. Will grit allow us to win a Super Bowl? Not make, win. That's the question. But Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes seem to think so, and they are the ones that count. They are the ones that make the decision. Y'all have to understand something. This is my zone. I embrace it. I love it. I talk about it, whether y'all like it or not. That's cool. I'm never trying to be smarter than Brad Holmes. I'm never trying to be like I know more. I'm just voicing my opinion. That's the whole reason this channel was created, along to give Detroit Lions fans a fan voice and give you guys a voice as well to be able to talk to me, right? So I didn't claim to be smarter, or I don't want their job. I love what I do. I love being right where I am. But here's what Brad Holmes had to say. I'm sorry, Dan Campbell had to say. We've been talking about Brad Holmes for so long because this is his time to shine that I got distracted. Here's Dan Campbell talking to Steve.
So it's draft season now. This is where you guys have done work. How exciting of a time is it for you? Because you don't do things traditionally, but like you said earlier, you get guys with a certain character, and you guys have nailed it the past 2 years. Like, how excited are you and Brad Holmes to be in this part, to build off these last 2 drafts you've had?
We love draft season. Now, let me start with this. Brad, this credit to Brad. Brad does an unbelievable job, and the way that he grinds through tape, the way that his staff grinds through tape, and the years that they go back, 2-3 years, and to really get a snapshot of what this guy is. So man, that credit goes to him. But we were very excited to add on to what we have here, because we do. You already mentioned it earlier. We love the guys that we have in this locker room. We love the talent that we've acquired, but the type of talent, the type of character that comes with it. So we're looking for the next batch, man, that fits. And look, there'll be some players in here that are really good players, but they just don't fit us, and that's okay. That's okay. But we got to find the right guys for us.
Now, I wonder, one of the players, as Dan Campbell, let me see if I can find that again, because I like the little smirk. And when I was cutting back to myself, I was talking about when he was gushing over Brad Holmes. I mean, they got their little bromance and stuff, and that's cool. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I want to win. I don't care nothing about bromances and likability. I'm trying to win. That's all I care about, is winning. That's it. That's all I want to do, is win. Win, 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 no matter what. But look at the smile on Coach Campbell. Don't he look younger? I'm telling you, his wife must have been like, look, honey, I need you to take you to a spa facial. He been on vacation somewhere, because you can see he been wearing his hat, all right, because it's a tan line right about there. But when he was talking about the talent on our team, he kind of smirked that not everybody's going to fit. Could he have been talking about a guy like C.J. Gardner-Johnson? I don't know, man. I don't know. Perhaps he may have been. Now, again, I agree with character. Character, to me, is number one, period. That's number one. But if you're saying that character and grit is going to win you a Super Bowl, I just believe eventually you're going to have to get talent. Where if the Detroit Lions are looking for, your character need to be 10 out of 10, okay? Let's look at C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I can't really speak on his character. I don't know his character, right? I know what he was doing on the field, but I don't know who he really is, okay? As far as I know, he hasn't been in any legal trouble, stuff like that, But then again, you have the Cam Sutton situation, right? So they got a guy, maybe he was, I don't know, maybe he was smirking about Cam. I have not to downplay that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, mistakes happen. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we make a mistake, right? That you talented, but you don't fit. Maybe he was referring to Cam. Maybe he was referring to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So to be clear, and I'm not trying to make this about myself, but I realize that when I am excited, when I am emotional, because I am emotional, I talk, yes, that's what this is. It's an emotional game. This football team means a lot to me. This city means a lot to me. Winning it all means a lot to me. So it gets emotional, right? So you guys saw me crying at Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, that's what we do. Grown men cry all the time, especially when it comes to this sport, right? Sports in general. So my thing is this. I want to be clear that when it comes to this team, I just want to win. I want to win. For me, the journey is fantastic. I will never forget the playoff games. I will never forget how you guys allowed me to go to San Francisco. But I will also never forget how it felt when we lost. I will never forget saying, hey, Brad, can we get a defense, bro? I will never forget giving up a 17-point lead. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I won't forgive, but I won't forget, right? It's sitting with me. I haven't forgot 2008. I haven't forgot about the fail Mary. I haven't forgot about punching the ball out the back of the end zone. The Calvin John catch, no catch, right? We've been through it as Lions fans. I won't forget. So I want y'all to know that I don't mind being wrong. I don't mind being wrong. I don't believe that grit. I'm not saying that I know more than these guys. I just don't know if grit will take us all the way. And I'll reiterate for the sake of the people in the back. I'm talking about all the way to the Super Bowl, on into a parade on Woodward with Sheila holding the Vince Lombardi trophy. That is the only barometer for me. We've done everything else. Think about it. We have literally done everything else. There is nothing left for us to do. I mean, winning the NFC title game and being NFC champions, to me, that's just as good as winning the North. Who cares? Who cares, bruh? You know what I'm saying? Like right now, okay, so we get to a Super Bowl. Let me ask you a question. Which is more devastating? What happened the 28th, making the NFC title game, losing it, getting to the Super Bowl or losing it? I mean, there's one more step to go if you want to look at it as in distance, right? It's like, okay, get to the Super Bowl, lose the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, right? We'll be up there with the San Francisco 49ers. But for me, I mean, after what? Maybe that would have been good enough before this year or last year. But now it's like, forget all that. I felt like we was there anyway. I feel like that game felt like like we were already in the Super Bowl. So if we get to the Super Bowl and then lose, it's like, you know what I mean? So I am backing these guys 100%. I have been on record saying, and this video is long, I'm about to wrap it up. I've been on record saying that I believe these are the two guys that's going to take us to the promised land. But that doesn't mean that I have to agree with everything or believe in everything that they're doing. I believe they are the guys, but I don't like some of the ways that they do things. That's it. Who likes everything that everybody does? Not me. Right? So anyway, let me know your thoughts. Good to see Coach smiling, man. Good to see Coach smiling because he wasn't smiling the last time we saw him in a game. So it's good to see that. I want to thank my subscribers, viewers, and members. This channel is made possible by you wonderful people. So consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. And just know that this guy and the guy from the championship game is the same individual. Just different times, bro. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, man. I hate losing. I don't like to lose. I hate losing. And after being the franchise that we've been, there's nothing I want more than to win it all. Period. It's time for us to be on top. That's all I want. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. I'm going to leave you with a coach with a view of Dan Campbell smiling, man. Good to see, man. We miss you, Coach. We love you, man.